So you want to become a millionaire. You watch all the Tony Robbins seminars, you watch a ton of motivational videos, and your TikTok is full of financial advice, which is clearly very accurate and great advice. Well, listen up. In today's video, I'm going to share with you guys 7 personal money tips that you need if you want to become a young millionaire. Young money. And you need to watch this video because I'm not going to be telling you what everyone else is telling you, like, oh, don't buy Starbucks because it's cheaper to make 30-cent coffee at home. I'm not going to give you any stupid scarcity advice. The scarcity mindset and that kind of advice is built specifically for people with no self-belief and for people that think that they actually can't go ahead and accomplish anything in their life. In this video, this is 7 actual practical things that you can implement from today. The first step is stop drinking. I know there's probably a bunch of kids in your high school that were super smart, super athletic, all the popular kids, and then come year 11 and 12, they start drinking, they start getting on the booze, they start going out to parties. And you notice all of a sudden your ranking in tests, in school athletic carnivals, your minutes on the basketball team, all of that just starts to go up and up and up. And it's not necessarily because you're getting significantly better. It's because everyone else starts drinking and they start getting significantly worse. And all that can happen in 1 to 2 years just in high school. Imagine the compound effects of that over 10 years. Like me personally, year 9 and 10, I was never the fastest or smartest kid. But all of a sudden, come year 11 and 12, all of a sudden I was one of the smarter kids in their class and one of the fastest. And also think about how much money you waste out drinking, out at the bars, out at the pub. I know that kind of goes against what I said about the coffee thing and not having a scarcity mindset, but a $4 coffee is one thing, but a $200 to $300 night out is very different from a $4 coffee. Also, where a coffee can make you more productive, going out and drinking takes up a ton of your time and it also inhibits your ability to be productive the next day. Tip number 2 is learn a high income skill. And this is why I keep bidding on about the coffee example. Why, yeah, sure, it's great to save that extra $4. Me personally, I don't want to live a life of scarcity. I want to live a life where I have faith that I can make a ton of money. I think if you're watching this video, you should understand the goal is not necessarily to get to $1 million by saving your money. It's to get there by making multi-millions of dollars and being able to have fun and do things on the way. And that doesn't mean you need to be a business owner or entrepreneur. You can work in the right organizations that will pay you based on your value and you can make a ton of money. And that doesn't mean you want to work in the big old companies that are stuck in your way. They don't want to pay you a fixed wage. But if you can find great companies like smaller startup companies that you can grow with and find yourself in an influential position in those companies, there's always a ton of potential to make a lot of money by being paid things like stock options, have a percentage of the revenue, or just massive salaries. But the way you get there is by learning high income skills. Whether that be sales, whether that be copywriting, whether that be content creation. Even if you're a wizard at Google Sheets, if you can put together great data analytic tracking spreadsheets, that is a high income skill that's very valuable to companies because you can show them where they should be focusing their efforts and where they're performing the best so that they can make more money. Just know it's way easier to get to millionaire status by increasing your earning potential than it is by saving your way there on a mediocre job. And saving your way there on a mediocre job is not very much of an inspiring lifestyle. Number 3 is to invest a specific amount each week. Now, even if you're not making much money right now, it's still important to get into the habit because if you're not investing now, even if you can only invest $10 a week or $50 a month, if you're not willing to do it now, even when you're making hundreds of thousands of dollars, you still won't be willing to invest the money. And if you start investing at a young age, it's going to compound super dramatically by the time you get older. When I was about 17, I read the book The Richest Man in Babylon, and it's a book that I strongly recommend. It's all about making your money work for you, and that's what investing does. Now, instead of just thinking your money is about having $1 in the bank, you can think of your $1 being a worker for you that will go out and earn more money for you. And that's really what investing is about. In the same way, if you wanted to run a marathon, you wouldn't start by just lacing up and running 48 kilometers. You'd start off gradually building your way up. And that's the same with investing. Start investing a small amount now, and when you start making more money, then eventually you can invest more and more money. The next tip for you is to have coffee at affluent places. Go and have a coffee in an expensive hotel or an expensive cafe in a nice business area or something like that. And even though it may cost a little bit more, you may be spending $5 to $10 for a coffee, it's a lot more inspiring than having a $4 coffee at Starbucks. You don't have to stay at a super expensive hotel and spend $20,000. All you have to do is turn up to the hotel lobby and go have a coffee. You're gonna look around and see how rich people walk, how they talk, how they sit, how they posture themselves, and just generally how they carry themselves. You don't notice how they dress. They don't end up just walking around in a bunch of big brand name Gucci and stuff. They wear nice clothes, but they don't try to stand out obnoxiously with their fashion because they don't want to stand out and they just want to look professional. And being around that will put that same mentality in your head. You also just see how they carry themselves. You'll notice when you start going to these places, they actually show their manners a lot more. That there's a lot more pleasers and thank yous and how's your day going compared to a busy Starbucks or some regular cafe. And hopefully this will rub off on you because you'll see successful people doing it and therefore you'll start treating people better. The next tip is pay off your credit card debt as soon as humanly possible. You need to understand that credit card debt is one of the things that they use to absolutely enslave you. Now there's great debt. If you've read Robert Kiyosaki's book, The Way the Rich Get Richer, you'll understand that debt can be an important tool, but credit card debt is not one of those tools. With high interest rates on you purchasing just terrible liabilities, with high interest rates, it's an easy way for them to absolutely enslave you in debt. And if you let credit card debt accumulate, it can compound so quickly that you will only be able to pay off the interest payments and you'll never actually be able to pay off the principal of the loan. So before you listen to any of these other tips and spend $5 to $10 on an expensive coffee in a nice affluent place, make sure you pay off your credit card debt first. Do everything you possibly can, save every single dollar and put that towards your credit card debt. Credit cards can be an exceptional asset to use, especially with sign-up bonuses and reward schemes. But how do you think they're offering these rewards to their people? Through financially irresponsible people that don't pay off their credit card debt. Just know that if you have credit card debt, you're funding plenty of people's overseas trips, expensive hotels, and instead of funding other people's credit card rewards, you need to get out of debt and start using those perks to your advantage instead. So if you have any credit card debt, pay it off ASAP. Tip number 6 is invest in self-education. Now it doesn't matter if a course costs $100, $1,000, even a $10,000 seminar or something like that. You have to think about courses. Is it going to improve your ability to make money? Is it going to make you better or more efficient at your job? Or is it going to allow you to find a new job? Now I'm not selling any course, but you have to think of it in this way. Like a $150 course is only like $13 a month if you factor it out over the year. So you have to think, if this $150 course is gonna help me make $13 more a month, and if it's something related to your job or a new side hustle that you want to try, chances are it probably is going to help you, and that $150 would be more than worth it. But you also don't just have to invest your money in courses. You can definitely just invest your time in watching educational YouTube videos, YouTube courses. There's plenty of free courses out there, and you always have a library to go and read books and things of that nature. Just back yourself and believe that you're the type of person that can use this information and skills to go ahead and make more money and get a positive investment on your time and money. Tip number 7 to become a millionaire is increase the percentage of money that you invest over time. Now in your early 20s, it should be easy for you to invest like 70% of your income, and then mid 25s you start to get a little bit more responsibilities and you have to drop it down to 60%, and then by the time you're 30 you have to drop it down to 50%. But after 30, once you're at that 50%, you should eventually begin to make more money as your responsibilities stagnate, because in your 20s to 30s generally people's responsibilities keep rising and their income only rises slightly. But once you hit that 30 mark, depending on when you have kids, your responsibilities start staying the same, but your income still continues to slowly rise. So at that point, you should definitely start investing more and more money the older you get. And this is all about creating massive amounts of wealth and actually being able to save your money. Because there's plenty of people that make tens of millions of dollars and end up just blowing it all and being completely broke. But even if you invest a high percentage of your money and then you stop making money for whatever reason, your business fails or you lose your job, things of that nature, if you have a high enough amount invested, you'll still be fine because you can live off the dividends of that investment. So it's really just about setting yourself up for the future. But either way, man, if you guys enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. I really do appreciate it. Try to implement as many of these tips as you possibly can ASAP. Remember, pay for your credit card debt and start trying to improve on yourself. If you guys enjoyed the video, please hit that like and subscribe button. I really do appreciate it, and I'm out. See ya.